Hi guys, it's Chantel and welcome to Life Sorted. Today I'm going to be giving you some reasons why you should declutter your house and kind of what the benefits of having a more simplified and less cluttered home would be to you. I think we can all say we have more than enough stuff in our house, more than enough pots and pans, more than enough clothes than we really need. Even if you have done a declutter in the past, it's quite easy for things to reaccumulate. It's very easy for us to bring items into our house or to be given items to bring into our home. So unless you really are like a proper strict minimalist and you really pare back and you keep just literally the bare minimal essentials, then the likelihood is there will still be stuff for you to declutter and for you to get rid of. Obviously, over the last 6-7 months I've been going through the KonMari method. Originally I really used that to ruthlessly cut down a lot of our belongings and get rid of a lot of the excess stuff we had, a lot of the things we really didn't need, a lot of the items we were kind of holding on to because of the what if moment, or because we had a sentimental tie to them, or we'd been gifted them and we kind of felt that whole guilt about getting rid of them. And I'm slowly starting to get away from all that now. I still have more than I need. I have more than enough stuff in this house. So I will probably still be decluttering and slowly reducing our belongings over the rest of this year, until I get to a point where I decide I have as much as I am happy with. I have where I am content with the amount of belongings around me. I don't think, as I have said, that I will ever be that traditional minimalist that people see. I've done a video on that, I will pop it up here. I will never be that minimalist that only has 3 pairs of trousers and 2 skirts and 5 dresses kind of thing. Simply because I enjoy fashion, I enjoy clothing, and I think that minimalism is a personal journey to you. You need to decide what is enough in your mind, in your heart, what makes you happy. But there is definitely still need for that decluttering, getting rid of the items that don't spark joy, that you don't love, that you don't use, that you don't need, the excess, the stuff around that, you still need to get rid of it. So these are kind of like the reasons why you should do it, why you need to declutter your home, and kind of where the benefits are. What is the good point of having a simplified home, of having a decluttered home? And believe me, there are lots, and these are just kind of the few that kind of resonate and meant more to me and John, the reason we've done it and what we've found since we've been doing this decluttering journey. First of all, kind of when you start your declutter, you'll start to realise what belongings you actually value, what means something to you. So kind of like you slip into this stream of thinking you have to have something because it's the norm. So for instance, CDs. Most people have CDs. It's a normal thing to own. But do you really need CDs? We love music, don't get me wrong, we are big music fans, and we have a lot of different CDs, a lot of different genres, but we've kind of come to that place now where we're realising we don't need CDs. We've got Google Dots, Google Homes, we've got Spotify. We don't really need physical CDs, they take up space, so we have made the decision to get rid of them. Obviously this might be completely different for you. You might be keeping something, for instance, in your kitchen because it's a normal thing to have and you think you should have it, but you don't ever use it. So get rid of it. You start to realise what means more to you, what do you value in your life. And you know, there will be, you know, I do value my fashion, my clothes, my jewellery, I do value that. And by paring it down to the stuff that you really love, you realise which bits mean the most to you. And learning what you value in your life can be really changing. It can really change how you feel about yourself. I've learned that a lot of the stuff that I collected in my teens, I don't really value that now, so why am I keeping it just because I collected it then? And I've learned to let go of it. So it's really eye-opening when you kind of start seeing what means something to you personally, you and your partner, or even to your kids, what means something to them. And then once you've kind of pared down to the things that you really, really value, it means that you start to enjoy those things more because they're not surrounded by everything else. So if it's an item of clothing, you will wear it more because you don't have all the stuff that you keep just for the sake of keeping it. You'll wear that necklace that you really, really love more often. One, because you can see it. It's easy to find. You know where it is and it's more visible because there's not a lot of other stuff. And also because you've got less options. So you'll wear the one that you really, really love a lot more now. And I think that's a great thing. There's also the fact that because you've got less stuff and you only keep the stuff that you really, really value, you also start to look after your belongings more. You take more care, more pride in it, because you know that it means something to you, therefore you want it to last longer, so you look after it. So you'll take care of that jewellery a bit better, you'll be more careful about when you put it away. It will have a home to put away. If you do a proper declutter, everything has a home, so you know exactly where it is. You're never likely to lose it because you take it off and you put it back. And it's got that little place, that little space that belongs to it, in a sense, I suppose. By understanding what you value more, you also can develop your style a lot easier. I think a lot of us don't realise really what our style is, especially in like fashion. In your home, this also reflects in your home as well, but I think it's more when it comes to fashion and beauty and things like that. Is that a lot of us fall into this whole fashion concept where we can change our styles and buy lots of stuff every season and never really know what our style is. But by paring your belongings right back, you really kind of are able to develop your style a bit better, know what clothing you like, what clothing fits you properly, what shapes and what styles and what colours suit you best. And you tend to then only gravitate towards purchasing items that fit into this. I mean, you might obviously have the one or two items that are a little bit more crazy or that are a bit different, but overall you tend to streamline the things you do own to fit in with this style aesthetic that you've learned to develop because you've got less stuff around you and you know what you like. Having this simplified and decluttered home it can be life-changing. I wouldn't say it's life-changing yet for us, but we're definitely starting to notice certain things. We saved a lot of time. We do seem to have saved a lot of time because everything has a place. You don't spend ages looking for something because you know where it is. So you're never having to like wander around the house looking for something. Don't get me wrong, we still lose our keys constantly, but usually because a small person has moved them. Not because we didn't put them back where they belong. But you will find that you are saving time. You're not spending as long looking for stuff or trying to pack stuff away. Cleaning is a lot quicker and tidying up is a lot quicker because you don't have as much stuff to have to put away. There can't be as much stuff out of place because you don't have as much stuff. It totally makes sense, and it really makes sense with kids stuff. I mean, Elliot has still got more than enough toys. He's got way more toys than he needs. But we've developed a system where it all fits into the small space downstairs that he has, and it literally takes me like 5 minutes at the end of the night to pack up everything where it belongs. It really doesn't take long because there isn't that much stuff to make a mess with. Yeah, that makes sense. So that kind of like reflects everywhere else in your home as well. If you don't have that much stuff, that many belongings, then they can't be that out of place, really. So it doesn't take as long. And cleaning your surfaces and cleaning your floors doesn't take as long because you're not having to move things about because you've got less possessions overall. So that side of decluttering has been great. It's far easier for me to pack things away in my drawers after I've washed them because there's enough space to fold everything easily and everything has a space. I've got like drawers dedicated to each thing and everything fits without having to worry about it. And having all this less stuff means your home tends to feel bigger. You don't feel like it's like it's so cluttered that there isn't enough space. Your home and your rooms, they feel bigger because there's not as much in them. That totally makes sense. You know, if you don't pack as much furniture and as many belongings into a space, that there's more empty space around stuff to make your room feel bigger. And this is kind of one of the key things for me and John at the moment. We love our house. We love our house. We love the area we live in. We love our neighbours. This house is like perfect for us. The only thing that was drawing us back was the fact it is only a 2-bedroom. Obviously, we want another child in the future, and we worried about the space aspect of bringing another child into this space and not having enough room. But we've kind of really reevaluated this kind of like mind, this thought, around this like not having enough space. And we've kind of realised, well, if we just have less stuff, then this house is big enough for 4 people. It doesn't need to be bigger until our children are older and they want their own rooms, you know. When they get like older, especially if we ended up with a boy and a girl, obviously at some point they will want their own rooms, and that's only fair. And then we will probably have to move. But if we can stay in this home for longer, it means we will save money, we will pay more off the mortgage, so when we do sell it, we'll make more profit from it. You know, it's a complete knock-on effect in a different area of your life that you never really think about. If we can stay here for 10 more years instead of only 4 more years, then that's 6 extra years of paying off our mortgage, 6 extra years to save any money towards another house. You know, it's those kind of things that people don't think about, the bigger picture of having a decluttered home. You wouldn't think that simplifying your home and having less possessions would impact you that much, but it really can. It really can impact you that much. So having that whole space aspect and feeling like your home is bigger can be really a positive thing in your life. Another thing is that you save money. I know that sounds random, but once you like properly declutter your space, you start to like the openness. You start to like having less things on top of things, and like the space in your drawers and the space in your wardrobe. You like the clearness of your rooms, and that means you want to put less stuff in them. So you kind of don't feel like you have the pressure anymore. Sorry, moving my foot. You kind of feel like you don't have so much pressure to buy stuff. This whole consumerist advertising culture, which forces things into our heads, thinking that you need this, you need to upgrade that, you need these things, you need to follow this trend, when you really don't. And once you've done this like big declutter and you've reduced your belongings, you've simplified your home down to more of the basics, more of the things you really love and only need, you don't feel the need to bring more stuff in. So yeah, you will save money because you don't feel that pressure to bring extra things into your home, into your life, things that you don't really need and you probably don't really want. So I do find that I'm not tempted by sales anymore, really. And stuff for Ellie and I still struggle with. I think it's different when you've got kids, but for me, like my mum was going on about that there was a really good sale in Debenhams and I should go look to get some new clothes, and I'm like, I don't need any new clothes. Not really. I purchased this new blouse and a new skirt. Not in that Debenhams sale, I purchased it a few weeks ago. Just so I've got a new summer blouse because my one from last year sadly was not in very good condition, so it's had to go. But you definitely don't feel that pressure that you need to go out and buy lots of stuff, that you need to keep filling your home, you need to keep changing things up. That pressure seems to have gone, which is great, so yay. So yeah, I definitely think you save money in that sense because you don't have that drive, that need to bring more stuff in, because you like what you have and you have enough. You might find that you have to replace stuff. I'm not going to say that you have to replace stuff occasionally. I know that this winter I'm going to have to replace my jumpers because they're not very great quality ones. They were cheap, they've been worn a lot, and I will need to replace them. I understand that, but I don't feel that urge to go buy 6 new pieces of clothing because of the new season's trend kind of thing. So you will save money in that sense. And then kind of the last thing you might realise is this is something that John has really felt more than I have, but being surrounded by stuff and clutter and our home feeling kind of like closed in, we couldn't put stuff away, that there wasn't a home for everything, it made him feel quite anxious. He kind of explained that he always found that like having piles of stuff places because they didn't have a home made him feel anxious and kind of stressed him out. So giving stuff space and opening our home up space-wise, air circulates. Opening the space up here has really reduced his anxiety and his stress levels hugely. So if you are suffering with like anxiety or stress or anything like that, decluttering and just having a simpler home, a much easier way of life can really help that. And like I said, John has felt this quite a lot, having less belongings and knowing where everything is and being able to put stuff back, and just like that more organised home, that more organised sense around you can help relieve a personal stress in you. So I think that's kind of like really important. That can be a really big game changer for people. Just to feel less anxiety and less stress around your home relieves so much. So that could be a big game changer for some people. So then there are kind of like 2 more points, that clearing your home of old possessions, stuff that might have sentimentality to it, but it's not always a good sentimental either. Clearing belongings that tie you to the past, tie you to other people, it frees up space in your mind, space in your body, space in your home, and it can kind of give you like a fresh start. That's kind of more of the thing which I kind of felt. Really being ruthless and clearing out my wardrobe and clearing out other places in the house, it kind of like, it revitalised me to change other aspects of my life. So I've started doing yoga and I've started eating better, and I'm more determined to lose my baby weight, and just it impacts more other areas of your life positively. So having a really good clear out kind of gives you like a new level playing field, a new fresh start for other areas of your life, not just your home. I mean, you might find if you clear out that you want to redecorate. That's obviously not going to save you money, but it's definitely, by clearing out different areas of our bedroom, I've kind of decided to give them like new little touches of, like my bedside table. I cleared it all and I knew that I just wanted to keep my lamp, I've got like 4 books on there that I keep next to the bed, and then like I've got 2 small ornaments. One is something that is sentimental. This little seal is sentimental to me. It was my grandma's, so I knew I wanted to keep that. And then this, my best friend bought me, and I keep my wedding and my engagement ring on here. And a candle. But because of that, I decided to buy a very nice little tray to put it on, so it's all there, sorted. So it kind of, I never would have bought a tray to go on there before. It gave me like a fresh outlook of different spaces in my room. So that kind of, that's what I kind of mean with it gives you a fresh, clean slate with your room, and you might decide to start decorating in that sense. That sounded a bit rambly. But I hope you know what I mean. And then the last thing, like having a serious declutter and simplify in your home really does do for you, is it starts to detach you from material possessions. Like I said, almost all the points that I've kind of said leading up to this end up at this point. The detachment from CDs, the detachment from feeling like you have to follow trends, the getting rid of belongings that tie you to the past, and you want a fresh clean slate. It all comes down to this: you start to feel less detached to material possessions. You don't feel as guilty about getting rid of stuff. You don't feel like you have to keep stuff in your life, like you have to have this item because it reminds you of something. That memory is still there, or you have a photograph of it, or I'm not saying that with everything, like my little seal ornament. I keep that because it was my grandma's, but I've got rid of so much other stuff that I was keeping just because it was hers. Whereas I keep that because I love it. And I remember it so much in my childhood, and I keep it on my lamp base. My lamp has got a big wooden base on it, so it sits there, and it goes with the rest of our room anyway. It's kind of the black, the colours and everything, so it all ties in. So I'm only keeping the one item that works with my style and that I really love, rather than keeping all of the stuff just because it was hers. So you definitely start to feel less detached to stuff if you declutter, and especially if you do it like a serious, ruthless declutter. I would advise, if you decide that you're going to declutter, reading Marie Kondo's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. But I would also say to go check out the fairly local vegan. I'll pop her link in the box below. She did a video, and I've mentioned it in the past, I've mentioned it in another video, that really, really resonated with me and John about being detached from material possessions. How items don't bring you happiness, really. There might be one or two that do, but overall, having stuff doesn't make us happy. It's like life experiences that make us happy. So I can't explain it as well as she does, so I will put her link in the box below. Her video was a big changing point for me and John, and it really made me be able to say goodbye and send stuff that I've been keeping for years from my university days and my college days and stuff I collected in the past, just to be able to go, I don't need it anymore. I don't need it in my life. It's just taking up space. It's in the attic. I don't require it in my life, in my home, so I can just say goodbye. Go out into the world. Some of it went to the charity shop, some of it did get recycled, some went in the bin, but I was able to let go of it. And it's that whole detachment from material possessions. So yeah. So that is why you should declutter. Why a simplified home can mean so much more than just having less stuff around you. It really can impact you in other areas of your life, and in ways that you kind of don't think of, the bigger things that it can impact that you don't realise. So yeah, that's everything. Please do give this a thumbs up, hit subscribe if you'd like to join this Life Sorted community, leave me a comment. I noticed lots of you commenting and talking down in the box below, and I love that. Please go check out some of my other videos. I will pop some decluttering videos up in the box here, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye.